Welcome to the Chris and Sam podcast. Pull up a bar stool and join us for a random conversation, guaranteed to make you think or your money back.
Hey guys, welcome to the Chris and Sam podcast. My name is Sam. I like giant pumpkins, and sitting across from me is Chris, who is now getting involved with road cones.
Yeah, I like road cones.
He likes hiring them out.
The orange and the pointy. And there are so many varieties, and you would have no idea, but you probably know more about varieties of pumpkins than I do. So there you go.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. And I can't drive down the street now without taking a double take at all the road cones.
Yes. That's what happens when you start a new job and you are learning new product.
Yeah, absolutely.
So welcome to episode
24,
number
25.
25 of the Chris and Sam podcast. Oh, I did want to say, I didn't tell you this in the last podcast, we have now cracked 1,000 downloads across all episodes. Since we started, which may not sound like a lot, but it is way quicker than what I thought was going to happen.
Well, no, it is. We were talking about, in the last episode, we were talking about Media Mingle, and I have to say this. I was talking to somebody about the podcast, and they go, oh, what do you do? Oh, we do this and do this, and we got a couple of podcasts, and we got the New Zealand Filmmakers podcast, which I feel quite comfortable talking about, because there's a story behind it and all the rest of it.
Yes, very comfortable.
And I go, oh, and we also have the Chris and Sam podcast, and they go, what's that about? And I'm like,
it's just Chris and Sam talking.
It's just us talking crap, really. And who listens to that? I'm like, I can't imagine anyone does, but obviously somebody does.
They do. We want to say, yeah.
And thank you for listening, but like, who the hell are you?
Actually, looking at the stats, which I haven't showed you yet, because I upgraded the account, so now we can see all the fancy stats.
All right.
The same amount of Australians as well as French people listen to us. So hello, Australians.
Bonjour.
And yeah, bonjour.
Really? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to have to say g'day to our Australian listeners these days because, we're trying really hard to be inclusive in this podcast. And so if you are listening out there on a horse out in the outback, cheers, bro. Or, no, that's not what they say.
G'day, mate. This is like the worst accent. No.
I shouldn't go with the French one now?
No.
Okay, no, we won't.
All
right.
It's bad enough when you talk normally, let alone do a...
Yeah, screw you. Screw you, Sam.
So actually talking about you talking and pronunciation and understanding things, I did mention it really briefly at the start of last episode, and then I forgot all about it.
I had hoped you'd forgotten all about it.
Yeah, go on, explain it. You posted this to Facebook.
Okay, so there's been something with some trees up north, and they've
in a development.
Yeah, in a development. They're going to cut down these 500-year-old trees, which was the thing that
which
got
are
me,
actually only
first
70
of all, they
years
said,
old.
Hey, there's all these Cody trees and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, Cody, C-O-D-Y, what are they, Australian? And I'm like, they're Australian import trees. Why do we care that they're getting cut down? And then it was like, they're 500 years old. I'm like, who brought trees from Australia 500 years ago? What the hell's going on
So did
there?
you just assume they were Australian trees that were called Cody?
Yeah, well, because Cody, what the fuck?
Okay.
Yeah, I mentioned that to my flatmates the other day.
How did that... Explain how that went. Like, did you just randomly... Did you...
No, we were sitting there, and I think something came on the news, and I was like, oh, my God. I'd already figured out by then, because I figured out, earlier in the week that it was going on. I was like, oh, my God. You wouldn't believe it. Earlier in the week, I was wondering, because I heard it on the radio and the news and never saw it written or anything. I wondered what these Cody trees were. And, poor old Heather was in stitches laughing.
Yeah.
And, I was like, okay, maybe I will share that on Facebook because apparently it's funny.
Yeah, that's the trick. That is the trick.
Well, you found it funny. I was like, but when I posted it, how many other people went, yeah, that threw me at first, the over-pronunciation of the word.
They just want to make you feel better.
Yeah, it's Kauri with a R, not a Cody. Cody isn't a frickin'... Yeah, anyway.
Very good.
That wasn't a rant time.
No, that's just a lesson in life.
That was a lesson in life. Talking about predictions for doing things interesting, at Media Mingle, tell us about your Coca-Cola.
Oh, it was like the best Coke I've ever had in my life. I don't know what it was. They gave me this glass of Coke, charged me $4, which I thought was pretty expensive, because it was only a short glass. And it must have been the perfect mix of ice, Coke, and it had a slice of lime in it. And I was just like, this is the best ever. Couldn't get enough of it. was almost going to tell you about it on the night, and I thought, no, that just sounds bloody weird. So I'm going to tell you that now. And all the listeners, it was bloody good.
So he's been waiting for 2 days to tell me about this amazing Coca-Cola off tap that he got in a pub at the sweatshop.
It was that good. It was that good. I'm looking forward when I get my cured meats or whatever it was from them.
Maybe for food, I mean, because it's not alcoholic, maybe you can slip that in.
I think I can.
Yeah.
I think I can. Because I am their new best friend.
All right. Yeah. Okay, cool. Moving on with this week's episode of the Chris and Sam podcast. What have you got here? You've got a few things here you wanted to talk about.
Half the stuff I don't even know what's going on.
All the stuff is yours. None of the stuff in this list is mine.
Okay, let's run through this really quickly. My friend went with her friends to the 50 Shades of Grey screening, and there was 8 to 10 females.
So a friend went. You know, my friend went to the 50...
Oh, no. My actual female friend went. Yeah, she went.
So it's not you.
No.
You sure? You're not just having us on now?
No. But what she was saying was it was like 2 random guys came in by themselves to watch this film and got hassled by the females.
They came in together or separately?
No, separately. Which just seemed really strange to everyone involved because it is a very female-orientated film. And, yeah, so I thought that was a bit interesting because I can't think of...
And so all the girls went with girls by themselves or girls with girls?
Usually groups of friends, so it's probably like 3 groups of people.
Yeah, but it would be like 3 girls, not 2 girls and a guy.
No, the guy was just by themselves.
Yeah.
But I can't think of anyone I know that would go and see that movie by themselves.
No, I mean, I could imagine me wanting to watch it.
Oh, no,
probably at home.
Yeah. That's what I said.
To see what all the fuss was about.
That's what I said. I could imagine people watching it at home in the privacy of their own home. And apparently it's just average. It's like nothing amazing in that film at all. It's just crap.
Yeah.
But it does...
Because it bombed after... It did really well in the opening weekend in the States. It did actually better internationally than it did in the States.
Oh, well.
And then it tanked. Pretty much the States tanked that following week. I don't know if the international tanked. I didn't sort of see that, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So that was that story. Nothing much happening there. What else we got?
When you say they were hassling the boys by themselves, what were they doing? What were they doing?
Just yelling out and being drunk, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that would be one of those movies you'd go to drunk. Girls do that drunken things, though, don't they? Like, seriously, like my flatmate, she likes to go to the gym and she likes to do jam. But she likes to have a drink before jam, so she'll get a little bit... I know, exactly.
Really?
See, and I'm like, that's wrong. And she goes, no, it's because jam is like a dance class, fitness class.
So
she's got a Friday night, so she goes, I prefer to have a couple of shots of vodka before I go. And I'm like, she just tries to get me to it. I'm like, I can't go to the gym after having drinks. That makes no sense to me. I can't get that concept in my head.
That would be really weird, actually. I'm just trying to think how that would... No. Not at all.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's girls for you.
So, what else we got? Oh, so I was at my mum and dad's the other day, and first off, Mum says it's okay. Dad brought us dessert. Okay. So she comes out with this rather large tub of ice cream, which at the time I didn't think was too weird, but I did notice it's bigger than a normal tub of ice cream. So it's actually 3 litres instead of 2 litres.
Okay.
And it's cookies and cream, and I thought, oh, okay, that's cool. So we're sitting there. And then, obviously, my dad's looking a bit funny, and then my mum goes, well, I'm not bringing the rest of it out. Anyway, it turns out, for some reason, unbeknownst to any of us, he went and brought a pirate ice cream birthday cake, randomly. And he was wondering where the edible pirate decal that goes on top, the fully surround, the parrot and chest birthday candles were. Because you're supposed to tip the whole ice cream upside down out of this big container and then make this ice cream cake.
What?
Exactly.
Your dad's an interesting guy, Sam.
Yeah. So anyway, after that...
Where did he get it? I'm just curious.
I don't know.
I'm really curious.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of an ice cream nut.
Oh, really? Me too.
Oh, totally. I eat lots of ice cream.
I've got a book on actually making ice cream with all these amazing recipes that I've never tried to make.
I've been addicted to passion fruit ice cream recently. I haven't had it for a long time.
Yeah.
Passion fruit ice cream and
very good.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
So anyway, after dinner wraps up, I was sitting there. Actually, I was editing a podcast episode on their dining room table. Yes, you do. And then next thing you know, there's a whole list of expletives coming out of the kitchen and the sound of running water pouring everywhere. And then my dad runs off outside And you go in the kitchen, and I don't know what he was doing, but somehow he snapped the tap off the wall, and this jet of water's flying across this kitchen. And he's run off outside to turn off the mains.
Right.
So I said, what were you doing? And he says, the hot tap was dripping. So I replaced the washer, and then I thought I'll just tighten up the cold. And he cranked it a bit too tight, and it just snapped off. And so then we had to dismantle the whole kitchen bench and pull that apart to get to the pipes. And then a call was made to some random dude who honestly won't stop talking, but he came out and fixed it all up, and it was all good.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never had a major problem like that in the kitchen, to be fair.
No, well, that's good. You don't want major problems in the kitchen.
That could be because I spend virtually no percentage of my life in the kitchen.
Chris's cooking utensil of choice is this. It is really large, actually. It surprised me what the hell it was. It looks like a crock pot, but it's not. It's actually a rice cooker.
Yep.
That does about, 20 bowls of rice at a time, probably?
No.
It's pretty big.
It is big. It probably feeds 2 to 4 normal people. I just eat the whole lot myself.
Okay. Actually, that is the only thing I've ever seen you eat.
Yeah. So
that you've made.
I do. The rice cooking thing. Or I nuke nachos. That's about the 2 things I cook.
Excellent.
Right. Moving on.
And then and then we got onto the story about my mum finding a lost bong at her work. She was telling, I don't even know how I got onto that story, but she's like, I found a bong the other day. And I was like,
Your parents are awesome. I've never met Sam's parents, just saying. But
no, but they're...
Your dad buys pirate birthday ice cream cakes for the hell of it and no particular reason at any sort of time. He snaps pipes because he's doing the Hulk on the frickin' taps, and your mum's going, I found a bong the other day. First, she knows what a bong is.
No, she didn't. That's the thing. So she starts describing it to me, and she goes, it's like a bit of glass tube with a little bowl at the end, and it was in a little velvety pouch. I said, how big was it? And she said, it's about this big. I said, no, that's a pea pipe. There's a difference. That's for me. So I said, a bong's bigger, and the water goes through it, apparently.
Right.
So there we go. And did you see the story the other day about the dancing man that got ridiculed? Is that the word?
Ridiculed.
That's it. Thank you. In the UK, the big dude.
No.
Oh, it was a really big dude, and he was busting out some dance moves. And I think these guys filmed him or took photos, and they publicly shamed him. And they were like, and he just stopped. And there's a photo of him with his head bowed, and he left this club, I think it was in. And it went viral on the internet. And they've basically, all these celebrities in the US are throwing a party for him now and flying him there. They tracked him down on the internet, they found him, and there's going to be 20 world-class models there, all these hot people, and Moby and a whole bunch of musicians are all going to play for free, and going to have a little party for this guy, who's called Simon, I think.
That is really cool. That is actually very cool.
Yeah, because it's not good to be mean.
Yeah, anti-bullying in the best way.
Yeah, so a bit different, so that'd be pretty cool. I'm sure by the time this podcast comes out, we should have hopefully seen some more of the awesome party, maybe.
Yeah. Wow, that is amazing what you can do these days, and the connections we have, and the connections of, just people.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting into quite a bit of networking recently, and, you really get that. You go out and you meet people, and it's amazing how many people, for example, at the Media Mingle the other day knew somebody in film or da-da-da-da-da-da.
The other thing with all these things is the amount of people that are no good at talking to other people.
Yeah.
I get that all the time.
I'm almost, that's one of the things I like about my new job.
Yeah.
Because I'm almost supposed to be a professional networker, and I've never been that before. I'm like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Excellent.
Yeah. So that'll be cool. Of course, I will be talking about temporary fencing when I'm meeting people, but I can make that sexy.
You know how you start that. How you start that conversation off is, how many temporary fences do you want? And they're like, what? And you're like, oh, by the way, I'll hire out temporary fences. Thanks for asking. And then, boom, here's your business card all over it.
Yeah.
And people don't realise.
Color me skeptical. Yeah.
No. But people don't realise when they may need a temporary fence.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well,
with health and safety.
What I really want to do is to network with all these events people that create events. So if you've got a concert, you've got the tall fencing at the back to stop people from getting into the back of the concert or whatever, off stage areas. And you've got the barriers to keep people behind at the front of the concert, and then you've got maybe queues and stuff like that. So tomorrow, Armageddon. You're going to Armageddon? I will be trying to find the event manager at Claudelands.
Yeah, good luck with that. But
I don't have cards yet. The cards arrive, I think, Monday. But anyway.
That's the downside.
That's cool.
Actually, talking about that, we are going to meet up with the Kneel Before Pod guys and Pod fellas and whoever else is going to be there. Yep.
Now, I don't know. So that's still going ahead, the podcast thing.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because Will's not there till Sunday, right?
Oh, okay. Well, there we go then. I've just found this out now.
I that's what I got from the... Are you on that conversation on Facebook or not?
No, not at all.
Okay, all right.
I'm on the conversation on Twitter because I look after the Twitter accounts.
Right. Okay, I was in the other conversation. I just keep looking at it and reading like 15 pages to catch up because I haven't got anything. And they keep talking about Chris, but it's the other Chris Williams, not me. And I'm like, Chris said this, or didn't Chris know? I'm like, what? I didn't say.
Chris isn't important, so we're going to mention him.
Yeah, different Chris. I've been relegated to the other Chris.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
That's funny.
So sad.
The other Chris.
Yeah. Well, one of my mates, I used to complain, Chris is such a common name, da-da-da-da-da. So a couple of my mates started calling me Topher.
Oh, look at that, old Topher.
Yeah. So Christopher. They just said take the back end.
Yeah.
Topher.
Very good. The only other...
I'm boring him now.
No.
I'm boring everybody.
Yeah,
okay, all right.
My eyes weren't glazing over at all. The only other thing I've done recently is I actually watched the film The Theory of Everything.
So you have seen it because I wanted to see it.
Yeah. Cool. My friend went and saw it with a bunch of girlfriends of hers, and she didn't know anything about it, and she just goes, it's the most amazing movie I've seen in such a long time.
Really?
And I was like, really? So this is the movie about Stephen Hawking?
Yep.
Who, if you don't know, is world-renowned astrophysicist.
Please, if you don't know who Stephen Hawking is, unsubscribe from this podcast and never listen to us again.
Oh, don't be like that. He's the guy in the wheelchair, talks with the robot voice. That's what most people know him for.
Yeah, it's true.
Very, very lucky man, though.
Did I tell you about the Graham Norton interview with the guy the actor that played the younger... No. So it was fascinating because he said when Stephen Hawking, because now has motor neuron disease, what is it called? Something like that.
Yeah, motor
neuron disease. Yeah, motor neuron disease is advanced to the point that's why he has the speech simulator, whatever you call it. And I think he uses his tongue or something to program it.
In the movie, he had a clicker with his hand, and I'm sure they've got to the point now where they've upgraded it, and it tracks his eyeballs, I think.
Yeah, because he can't move much at all now. No. So maybe it's his eyeballs. I knew it was something with his face because, everything else is done now. So this actor is meeting with Stephen Hawking before the movie to sort of suss out and learn about him in order to play him, right, as you do. Now, the thing is normally with Stephen Hawking is if he's going to an event or whatever, he pre-programs a lot of his sentences.
Yeah.
So he can go, that one. And that one, and you just play it, so it flows. But because this was an impromptu discussion they were having, it would take ages for him to spell with his eyeballs or his tongue or whatever he's using this thing out. So this guy, the actor, I've forgotten his name, he's sort of young and he's quite nervous. He's in awe of Stephen Hawking, as I think most of us would be. And so he said, there's this uncomfortable, prolonged silence while he's doing his thing. So he said, and I couldn't help myself. I just kept filling the silence by talking inanely. And then he said, at one point, I didn't even think about it. I don't know where it came from. He said, I said to him, so what's your star sign? And there was a really long pause.
Yeah.
And then the sentence came out, I am an astronomer, not an astrologer. Exclamation mark. And it's like, the dude was like, oh shit, he's not going to let me play him now.
So
I think that story's hilarious because you can just so see it happening, eh?
Yeah.
But anyway.
The actor's Eddie Redmayne.
Redmayne, yeah. Because he won an Oscar for that, didn't he?
Yes, yes. One Oscar win, 23 more wins, and 88 nominations.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good, and it just how lucky the guy is. They said, you've got 2 years to live. That's what they gave him.
And when? Like, that'd be like 20 years ago or something.
Oh, no, longer.
Really?
He was like at Oxford, and he was real young, and they kept saying, what are you going to do your thesis paper on? And he meets this girl, a little bit later, not long later actually, they said, you've got 2 years to live, and he sort of loses the plot for a second, and then he tells her, and she says, right, and next thing you know, they're getting married and has 3 kids, and yeah.
Wow.
And then eventually, in real life, if you actually read up on the story, and that they do divorce, and then he's married to his second wife for 12 years, who was his helper that was brought in by the wife.
Yeah.
And if you read the stories online, which is quite interesting, a lot of people, including the family, said that she was abusing him and stuff, but he denies it all.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I've heard that, there was nothing about that in the film.
No, that was probably, they said that was the only criticism of the film. But his first wife seemed like amazing lady.
Yeah.
Really amazing, because they're apparently really close still.
Yeah.
And it was a nice film. Nice film.
Yeah, no, I've got to see that. I saw a film the other day. I didn't tell you about this. I went and saw Will Smith on Focus.
I saw the random trailer or something of it, but I wasn't. Yeah. It was in the background somewhere. Maybe I was in a shop and I didn't.
Yeah.
Was
it
good?
It's good. It's good. It's so it's a con film. It's quite a different film for Will Smith. I saw him doing an interview on, like, I think with Kate Rogers or something on TV, and he said it was quite different for him because from in his words, he said, from my rap background, MTV, punchy, and all the movies done very punchy. This is a slower pace, and it is quite a slower paced movie. Yeah, so it's a con movie. If you like con movies, I think you'll like it. Yeah. It's not as punchy as The Confidence Game, I think that's what it's called, or some of the others, but it's, I really enjoyed it. It is not very punchy. It's sort of slow, but I thought it was pretty cool.
Interesting. Some guys I used to work with, all they used to listen to was the Will Smith rapping stuff. Yeah. And you know what the reason that was? Is because he doesn't swear in it. It's family friendly. So they said, we can listen to this anywhere where we're working, and it's fine. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that is cool, actually.
Oh, news in the world today is Liam Neeson has come out and said, I'm only going to do action films for another 2 years. That's it.
I thought you were going to say Liam Neeson's come out of the closet. I was like, what? No, let's just step back a bit. No, Liam Neeson hasn't come out of the closet. Liam Neeson said he's only going to do 2 more years of action films.
Yeah, apparently.
So was that one taken too far?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so I don't know of any other random news at the moment.
What's wrong with you? You're supposed to be up to play with all this random news.
Dude, I've been working so much and I'm so far behind in so many things. Oh, and we must apologise because a couple of podcasts ago we said that the TEDx Rukura was in May and it's been moved to 20th of June.
Yes, it has a date change.
It has a date change and a venue change.
Yeah, the venue's all been changed. Everything's been changed. Just check out the website, which is...
I did update it on the website in our show notes. I put it in bold and said, don't listen to us. We're talking crap. It's now the 20th of June.
Very good.
Which you didn't know, but I can do that because I know how.
Yeah, it's really random when you go in on the website or the Facebook page and you see something that I haven't posted. And I'm like, what's going on? Oh, that's right. Chris has decided to log in.
Because I don't do that much at all. Really. But yeah, no. So what else are you being up to, or what have you got coming up? You've got the Great Pumpkin Carnival.
The Great Pumpkin Carnival, 29th of March. Yes, that should be happening the week after you hear this podcast.
Cool.
And it's been a bit of a hustle today because I got let down with the usual people that offered their high ab for us. So I have been talking to...
So a high ab is a truck with the crane on the back, for those that don't know, because I didn't.
Usually orange. But HiAb's a brand. That's the thing where people... So, you know how people used to say, I'm going to Xerox something?
Yeah.
But Xerox is a brand.
Yeah.
Well, most cranes on the back of a truck is actually a Palfinger. That's the brand.
Yep.
And the other brand is HiAb.
Right.
And there's another brand which is from Spain or somewhere, the other blue ones. I can't remember what they're called. But everyone calls it a HiAb. So for the HiAb brand... It's worked really, really well.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. So
just be branding. You want to be the generic. Yeah, totally.
So I got let down, and I've been talking to all these random people I haven't spoken to in like a year. But the trick is, I did get along with them really, really well when I did have to deal with them. So it's always good to have these really good relationships so you can call on people.
Building good relationships, awesome. Hey, by the way, just talking about that branding. So in New Zealand, what do you call the plasterboard that you put in the house?
Jibboard.
Jibboard. So do you know that's totally a brand name here?
Yeah.
It's Gibraltar board, right. So I've always called it Jibboard. When I went over to Gibraltar, I'm in Gibraltar, and we're doing some construction. I'm like, can you give us some jibboard? And they go, what the f*** are you talking about? And plasterboard. Yeah, we call it jibboard. Why would you call it jibboard? Because it's short for Gibraltar. Why would you call it Gibraltar board? Because that's what it is in New Zealand. It was a surreal conversation, given that I was having this conversation in Gibraltar.
Yeah, because the other brand that is apparently available, but I never, because I used to work in the building trade, is Elephant Board.
Yeah, I'm glad we call it jibboard.
yeah. Elephant Board's something that they import from somewhere else.
Oh, wow. Anyway, so yeah. But yeah, you're absolutely right. You need to get these connections, get these relationships, and keep them, which is why we want to be really, really good with our listeners and engage with you guys in discussions and tell it. Yeah, we want you guys to tell us what we should be talking about sometimes. Or
not. But I think that'll come from the Twitter feed, to be honest, because I've been connecting with a lot of random podcasts, especially all around the world. Up. I'm not going to tell you what that is, but we are recording that next week. Is the plan, isn't it?
Yep, that's the plan. There'll be a bit of time in the production of it.
Yeah, it'll take forever.
And we've also got maybe a bonus episode that I might put on the side, which will be good for the filmmakers, but it's not exactly filmmakers.
Yeah.
But
we'll see how we go. We've got a lot of plans, and we've got a lot of very, very keen people that do want to talk to us, which is great.
We are, unfortunately, incredibly busy with a lot of stuff going on, both of us. Me with my new job, and Sam with the Pumpkin Carnival.
And then I'll be moving. I'm moving into the podcast studio.
Yeah, he hasn't got anywhere to live, so he's going to be sleeping in the green screen room, and we're basically locking him in the dungeon.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Has no light bulb. I'll just be wearing a headlamp for the whole time. Actually, it'll get to the point, because sometimes I have to wear a headlamp for work. You forget you have it on, so you'll probably just see me with it on more than often than not.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant. We should all just have headlamps.
Welcome to Third World New Zealand.
Well, because, think about it. Think of the power savings if we all just wandered around with headlamp on.
Yeah, but then you're
instead of wasting power.
Yeah, but you could say you're wasting energy and power and money on batteries and then recycling and stuff.
Well, Tesla and that, they're coming out with new batteries. That's the big X Prize now. You know that, eh?
Yes, I heard that somewhere. They're putting it together, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they've launched the X Prize, but yeah, they want a new couple of $1 million prize money, $10 million, I think it is.
No, it's a lot. Money. I want to say it's way more than that.
Yeah?
I'll have to check that out for you.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it next podcast because we're running out of time. But the X Prize for battery life, it's a game changer, and that's what the X Prize is all about. So good thing. Oh, and X Factor, of course. That's also extremely important at the moment.
X Factor.
I was waiting for a reaction.
Yeah, because you're waiting.
Actually, I have actually been watching.
Yeah,
X
of course
Factor.
you have. I've been waiting for a reaction.
It's sad. Anyway, okay, so that's us. You can see us on the chrisandsampodcast.com. You'll see all the show notes, any links,
all the links to where you can see us, Facebook, everything's there. Just go to the chrisandsampodcast.com. Please feel free to leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you.
Rate us on iTunes, and we will catch up with you sometime in the future.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. See ya.
Hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll catch you next week. Don't forget to tell your friend.